going on Screen Watcher Nation? It is the Screen Watcher here for the very first time. We are going live on the Screen Watcher Nation here. Screen Watcher here going with the first time. I wanted to do something a little bit different, not a movie review, but some movies that I'm looking forward to coming up in the future. I cannot say that I will not be interrupted at least a couple of times in the next little bit here. But wanted to do something different. I wanted to shake it up, have some fun, and look at some movies that are coming up not only this year but into the early bit of next year as well. And really just kind of go over some of the things that I've seen in the previews that have me really jacked up about these movies in particular. And if I get some comments that come up on here, I'll see if I can work that out. I haven't ever done a live video on YouTube, so this will be fun for both of us. The first movie I want to talk about because it is super duper topical, Halloween. First of all, Halloween, one of the best Halloween scary movie slasher movie series of all time. It's a great series. It's a great monster movie. Michael Myers is one of the best characters of all time when it comes to the horror genre. And he is back with a vengeance. And you know what? She put down the yogurt and she grabbed a shotgun, and I love it. It's going to be phenomenal. Bloomhouse doesn't disappoint when it comes to horror movies. They've put on so many great ones. I'm extremely excited to see how Jamie Lee Curtis does in this movie. I've seen a couple of other people that I'm excited to see in the movie as well. The previews make it look great. They're bringing back the old tropes from the original type of movies. You have Jamie Lee Curtis really arming up. Her daughter's in trouble. Oh man, it just has me super duper jacked up. I am ready for that movie. For real. Cannot wait for it to come out. That'll probably be a movie that I go see opening night, probably with my roommate because he is a super nerd for the slasher films. Anytime I say somebody has suggested I go and see a slasher or horror movie, it's been him. So I will probably go ahead and have him go with me, just so I'm not alone and scared. But no, just because it is going to be one of his favorite movies of all time, I can already tell. The rumor is that Bloomhouse reached out to the director and literally just sent him Halloween question mark, and it was on from there. Which that is just the beauty of having the right type of person and the right type of franchise with the right type of people putting the money behind it. And that's what makes me so excited for this movie. Some other movies that I am really, really jacked up on, just because of either the people that are in them, the worlds that they're in, or just the reasoning behind the movie being made. There's some that I'm throwing out there. There's one in particular that I'm going to throw out there that I'm skeptical about, but I'm still interested in to see how they do it. But the next one that I'm probably the most jacked up on right now is Captain Marvel. Obviously, after the MCU came together as big as it did to go fight Thanos in the most recent Avengers movie. I want to see how they bring in this new character. Captain Marvel is a BA. She is a strong female character. She's one of the strongest characters in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, and if you go back and watch Infinity War, there are some Easter eggs, not just in the end scene, but in some of the other scenes as well. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but if you really keep a close eye, you can see some Captain Marvel stuff. So I'll put you to the test there. So go watch Infinity War again. Ha ha ha! Making you watch another movie. But Captain Marvel, the preview made it look so good, and have her crashing into a Blockbuster Video and all the 90s nostalgia. with her Nine Inch Nails t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff that she's wearing. They did a great job. Marvel always knows what they're doing. Uh, as much as I hate it, Disney, I gotta applaud you. I mean, come on. It was a great pickup with Brie Larson. I'm excited to see the movie. I'm curious to see how the time travel and everything is going to work, and how she's going to get in with the Avengers into the Avengers 4, whatever it's going to end up being called. That is not going to be one of the movies that I'm listing here. But super, super pumped up for Captain Marvel. I am ready to get any more videos for trailers. I'm ready for that movie to come out. Definitely a movie that I'm going to be seeing opening night, just because I have to. Uh, Third movie I'm probably most excited to see, Creed 2. There's two reasons. One, the original movie was awesome. Michael B. Jordan killed it. Sylvester Stallone killed it. Uh, the storyline was great. The second reason is you're bringing back Drago. You're bringing back his kid. That's phenomenal. I mean, come on. That Rocky 4 or 5 or whatever it was. Uh, that's my favorite Rocky of all time. It's one of the probably the best known Rocky movies other than the original. Um, it's a great storyline. It Man, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it, and the the songs that they use in the previews. I am a preview groupie. If I won the lottery tomorrow, that is what I would go back to school for to learn to do, would be making previews. Um, just because I love a good preview. A good preview can set up a movie to just skyrocket, and a bad preview can either set up a movie to fail, or make you think a movie is going to be one thing and be a complete other. That's why in a lot of my reviews I talk about the preview so much. And this Creed 2 one has me so jacked up with the Kendrick. Going with the punches in the first one. Oh man, and seeing him have a family, and his mom say, it's not about the legacy. It's not about your father. It's all about you. And oh, how he's going to play off it. It's going to be so exciting. I'm ready for that, for sure. Um, then moving on to the next movie that I'm excited to see, Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald. Uh, I'm a big Harry Potter nerd, not to the point where I have like wands and all that kind of stuff, but read all the books. I've read a lot of the stuff on Pottermore. I have the audiobooks. If I'm ever on a car trip longer than an hour or two, I'm probably going to listen to the audiobooks, because it's such a great world. It's such a great storyline. I've seen all the movies, and this one giving us so much more backstory into the past of what that future world is, and building upon the world that they gave us with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm excited to see. I know a lot of people didn't like the Johnny Depp casting, which I understand. The reasonings for that at the time, and all that. But I love so many more of the people that they have in it. You know, the cast is amazing. The world development in the entire Harry Potter universe is amazing. I like that I've seen some battling going on in the previews. That has me excited to kind of see Grindelwald's power for the first time, because in the books and in the movies, you kind of just hear, Dumbledore had to go and stop him, and he was on this terrible reign, and he was almost as bad as Voldemort was, or He Who Must Not Be Named. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Um, he Who Must Not Be Named's reign. He was about as bad as he could possibly be, and that's something that we've never seen. And I, as a fan of the world and of the universe and of the books and the movies, being able to go back and see that kind of stuff really has me excited. And I'm ready to go and see it, see what kind of action they can get into without going overboard. I'm pretty sure there's another movie as well, so I don't know if we're going to get a lot of it and then it's going to spread into the next movie, or if we're just going to get a little taste of it and then it'll spread and we'll get a bulk of the action in the third. So we'll see how they balance all that. But Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald is definitely on my list of movies that I am excited for. Um, Another one that is on my list that I am just uh, really excited about because of how iconic the band has been and how much I love Rami Malek. Bohemian Rhapsody. Um, Queen, how do you not love them? Everybody has jammed out to this song and a whole lot more of this band's songs. I'm really excited to see how they do it. I want to see. I haven't seen a whole lot of the previews or really done a lot of digging into the movie. I want to see most of it in the theater. I don't want to get a lot of anything spoiled because I think most of it would be spoiled if you go and get too deep into it, which I think you could in a movie like this. Seeing an extra scene or two of Captain Marvel may not ruin the whole thing, but Bohemian Rhapsody, since it is kind of biographical, it could ruin parts of what they will or will not show. So I'm interested to see how much of it they get into it, how much of the music they're showing, because their music is so powerful. It is something that is something. It's songs that have passed through generations and will continue to do so for generations to come. I know it will, and it's just going to continue to go on. Queen will live on forever. Freddie Mercury was a talent that I don't know. I know we've had talents that are similar to his level, but his writings, his charisma, his his talent, his voice, his everything, it transcends music at times. And I think there's only been a few people that have come close to that level on stage, and it's hard to not feel that when you're listening to it, even now on digital audio in a car driving down the road. You still get jacked up when you hear "We Will Rock You." You still headbang when you get to the part in Bohemian Rhapsody. You still, you know, get into these lyrics that uh are decades old at this point, and I don't see that ever stopping. And there's the Justin Timberlakes of now, which I've compared him to Elvis and things like that. And I know he has the charisma and I know he has the talent. I don't know if his songs will live on the same way that Freddie Mercury's will. So that's why I'm happy they're making this movie, because I think the band and Freddie and just everything about Queen deserves this kind of film. Um, I'm excited to see it just for so many reasons. Um, this movie, the next movie that I'm going to get into, this is the one where I'm kind of, I'm excited to see where it goes because of the person doing the voice. Um, the Grinch. It's an hour long, it's animated, and Benedict Cumberbatch is doing the voice. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I also love the fact that you can call him anything close to his name and you know exactly who we're talking about, just like I could say, Cinnamon Pumpkin Patch, and you know I'm talking about Benedict Cumberbatch. Uh, but it's the original cartoon is phenomenal. The Jim Carrey version is great. I don't I don't know why they felt the need to do a reboot, but they did. They are. So I have a lot of reservations with it, which you can tell because I'm doing a lot of hand movements and moving closer to the camera. So I don't know why I have these reservations, but I really don't want them to screw up something that didn't need to be tinkered with in the first place in my mind. I mean, obviously, The Grinch now is, goodness, a decade old at least. I mean, maybe longer, older than that. And the original cartoon, gosh, Thurl Ravenscroft doing the voice of that and the song has got to be 2 or 3 decades old at this point. Which Thurl Ravenscroft, that's a phenomenal name. Am I not right? I mean, come on. That's such an iconic thing. They've redone things like, Christmas Carol and Nightmare Before Christmas, and well, they haven't redone Nightmare Before Christmas, but A Christmas Carol where they did the Jim Carrey and the digital redoing of it, and that was really just scary and honestly made me kind of sick with how fast everything was moving. But I don't know if you need to do this. It could be great, which is why I'm putting it on this list. There's a lot of movies that I'm not going to talk about. Um, that could go into this list, but I didn't want to talk for an hour. We're already at 16 minutes, and I still have a couple of movies that I want to talk about. Um, but The Grinch has the possibility of being great. The fact that it's an hour makes it seem a little bit made for TV, like good gravy. We're just going to have it on freeform all the time in the 25 days of Christmas or the 25 days leading up to the 25 days of Christmas that they do, because it feels like from after Halloween to Christmas, they're constantly playing Elf and all the other Christmas movies that they can play because they're cheap and they already own the rights to them. But I, I'm interested to see what they do with it and if they'd make any changes and if it's good. So that's why I wanted to mention it here. Down to the last two movies that I wanted to talk about. Um, the Girl in the Spider's Web. I haven't seen any of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies or any of that kind of stuff. I haven't read the books, but the trailer looked so good that I am very interested in seeing the movie. I think I first saw the trailer. Was it Lost World? No, it must have been sooner than or more recently than that. But I've seen it a couple times in theaters, and every time that I've seen it in theaters, I've gotten really jacked up about it, and I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's just another BA woman figure standing up for women, and that kind of thing is just a cool thing to watch. I don't know. But I loved how the opening sequence in the preview is shot. I love the setups of the scene. I love how everything kind of goes down. I'm curious to see what the rest of the movie's about. Um, I don't know where it goes. So it has me intrigued there. Yeah, people who have watched my videos and reviews know I love a movie where I don't know where it's going, and I have no idea where any of this is going. So it already has me hooked there. So I'm very, very curious about this movie. If you guys know anything about it, hopefully you're excited too. If not, if you've seen it and are not excited about it, leave in the comments below. So I can see your counter arguments go. So I would love to see what your guys' thoughts are if you've read books on it. That would be interesting. And then the last movie that I wanted to talk about, mainly because Steve Carell is one of my favorite actors, and I never thought I was going to say it because of his acting on The Office. Not that it was bad, but just because it was so goofy. And then, he came out with movies like Dinner for Schmucks, and a lot of things were always just kind of meh and ho hum. And, then he started coming on with movies like Get Smart, and he started playing better characters. And then you started to see him really pump up his acting game. Um, and he's been in some really phenomenal films. But when I look at the trailer, The Women of Marwen, I see not just a good story and not just a good execution, but I see an actor who understands more than just the storyline that he's trying to portray. I see somebody who has either seen or been close to somebody or experienced himself s- somebody who's gone through a PTSD like experience. So if you haven't seen the trailer, the Women of Marwen is about a person who was in the war. He comes back and he was at a bar, and for some reason, these three guys basically beat him up almost to the point where he dies and he gets brain damage, and his memory goes. And he builds these models of the town, of himself, and of these strong women that he meets. Um, and these women protect him in this village, and the visuals in the preview are extremely well done because the models are, become CGI'd, and he's like living in the model multiple times, and he is reliving this being beat up scene, and he's like getting his memory back from these models, and these women kind of protect him in this city of Marwyn, that he creates. And it seems so honest, and there's not a lot of movies that you can tell are that honest from the first trailer or even any trailer, that you you almost fall in love with the character of Marwyn, and you care for him instantly, and you want to protect him. And it's one of those things where it's such a rare thing to find. It takes me back almost to one of my favorite movies of all time, A Beautiful Mind, um, with uh, with Russell Crowe's character, where once he realizes that he's sick and has the issues that he does, you can't help but root for him. And this preview, as somebody who has issues with anxiety and depression and things like that at times, and other times it's worse than others, but I you connect with him, and everybody that I've shown the preview to connects with it too, and they're like, wow, that's going to be a really good movie. And even if it doesn't hit my expectations, I can tell it's still going to be one of those movies that I'm going to want to watch more than once. And that's kind of rare for a person like me. There are movies that I can watch over and over again, and there are movies that I watch once, think are phenomenal, and never want to watch again because they're kind of hard to watch. You have to be in that kind of mood to watch. Uh, some most of the time, it's a disturbing movie. It's a historical movie. It's talking about the Holocaust, or it's gruesome, or something that it's got rape or something. It's something terrible happens, and this seems like one of those movies where it's like a cathartic building release movie. And I don't know why I'm connecting with it so hard so early, but The Women of Marwen is going to be probably one of my most anticipated movies that I've seen in a very, very long time. I hope that it's good. I hope that it continues to be that for me. I know I'm going to want to see it as early as I can, just so I can have that anxiety off my chest to know that it's a good movie. And I know I'm kind of ending this list on a moment of levity, but it's it's like I said, it's rare for me to find something that isn't action packed or a comedy or fun that I want to go and see because I know it's going to be life altering. Um, the last movie that was like that for me was a movie called This Is Where I Leave You. I'll probably do a review on that at some point. It's a blast from the past kind of movie. It's not super old. It's within the last couple of years. But it's another one of those cathartic movies. Again, not it's not a happy movie. It's got sad parts, and it's just this movie looks like it's something that should win awards. I don't know if it will, but the cast looks great. So far, the storyline looks great. In the preview, the acting looks great, and Steve Carell. Uh, I'm going to commend him now as somebody who he's doing something in Hollywood that hasn't been done a lot before. He's had massive, massive success, stayed out of the limelight, and not done anything wrong, and is getting better over the later years of what would typically be someone's career. He's aging phenomenally well. He's like a fine wine. The guy, it looks great, but he's doing things later on in his career that make me respect him so much more as an actor. Like obviously, comedic timing and comedic acting is so difficult to do that some of the best actors in the world can't do. But now he's gone through that realm, and now he's taken on things like, Crazy Stupid Love. I think was his was the him with Ryan Gosling. I think was the name of it. Um, but he's been in so many movies where he's been serious now, and this one looks to be like his coup de grace, and I'm super excited about it. Um, but those are my one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 movies that I'm really looking forward to in the not too distant future here. Do you have any movies that you guys are looking forward to seeing? The Screen Watcher Nation is ever growing. We have 63 followers on YouTube here where I'm shooting the video. We have over 3,500 followers now from over 18 countries, I believe, on Facebook, which is amazing. The Screen Watcher Nation continues to grow. It is crazy to think that it is growing as fast as it is and as far reaching as it is. I appreciate you guys. That's why I want to keep doing different things like I'm doing now. I've never thought I was going to do a 30-minute live video, but here we are. Give me ideas. Is there a movie that you guys want me to do a review on? Do you guys have a movie that you want to see coming up here soon and I did not mention in this video? Do you guys have a movie that you would love for me to review from the past or from this year that I haven't gotten to yet? Anything that you want me to do, please just let me know in the comments down below or send me a message. I'm always open to that kind of thing. If you join the Facebook group, you can send me messages there as well. But other than that, I am the Screen Watcher, looking out for the Screen Watcher Nation. Hopefully, your popcorn is always fresh. Hopefully, you enjoy your day at the cinema, whether it is at the local cinema at your town or it is at your home movie theater. I am signing off and I'm going to give my voice a rest, but you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.